Senator, thank you so much for joining us. Jake was just talking about the fact that there's no testing on the Hill, getting a little fired up about it. Why isn't there testing? Why is Congress not tested? Why is it not important to make sure our lawmakers are safe and healthy and can continue the business of governing?
Well, my fellow Connecticut native Jake Sherman has been fired up about this for a while for a good reason. We have been asking Mitch McConnell for months now to set up a testing protocol, not just for members of the Senate, but for staff as well. As he mentioned, there are a lot of low-income cafeteria workers, maintenance workers at the Capitol who are all exposed. And I think one thing is now 100% clear. We cannot go back to work in the Senate unless everyone who has had any exposure to the White House over the last 2 weeks is tested. I'm going to get tested again. I was tested last week. I'll get tested again before I walk back into that building for good. But we can't move forward on Amy Coney Barrett or anything else until we know whether there was some super spreader event at the White House or at that debate, which has resulted in perhaps more Senate staff and members than Mike Lee contracting this disease. We want to make sure that we cut this spread off as quickly as we can.
So Mike Lee has been in contact with a number of people on the Hill and also Amy Coney Barrett. I mean, under normal circumstances, wouldn't that mean that there are a lot of people on Capitol Hill that need to self-quarantine? And wouldn't Amy Coney Barrett need to self-quarantine given this news? Yes, especially because we don't know how long the antibodies last. There's reporting suggesting that she may have already contracted the virus. That doesn't mean you have permanent immunity. And it's so clear to me today that the White House still doesn't get it. The White House is still modeling terrible behavior. Mark Meadows, who has clearly been in close unmasked contact with the president over the past week, should be quarantining. Instead, he went out without a mask and gave a press statement today. And so the White House, even after the president's result, is still showing the country that it does not care about CDC guidance. So yes, everybody that Mike Lee has been in contact with, everybody that he hugged, everybody that shook hands with him needs to be in quarantine. That likely is a large number of the Senate. And if they stick to CDC guidelines, that means we're not in session next week, but we're also not likely in session the next week. And then tell me exactly how you do Amy Coney Barrett's nomination. Then you are really, truly ramming this process through if you try to do it in the final 2 weeks before the election. What about a stimulus package?
Well, listen, I mean, the stimulus package is absolutely necessary. But, Mitch McConnell is still not at the negotiating table. We sort of have a separate problem there. We have had plenty of time to get money to our schools, to get money to our states, to rebuild a broken testing program. But Mitch McConnell has refused to actually sit in with the White House, to sit in with Senator Schumer, because, as he will tell you publicly, he still has half or more than half of his members who just don't care, who don't want to spend any additional money on trying to save lives in this country. And so I think the same problem plagues the stimulus negotiations, which is that Senator McConnell can't deliver votes for anything. And that was the case 3 months ago, and it is unfortunately the case today. That's a really bad outcome for the country.
Well, it would be a real contrast to have them be sure to rush through this nomination and this hearing, and yet not have the time to hash out a stimulus for Americans who are currently suffering right now. And there are still millions who are unemployed and millions who are permanently unemployed right now. Senator Chris Murphy, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.